Hi guys, this is JJ162 here, and we're here with a Minecraft tutorial. Today we'll be looking at a quiz/trivia machine. The particular design I have is a 15 question machine. However, it can be easily altered to be higher or lower. Easier to make it lower than higher though. So this is the design at the back. How it works is you've got your matter input from this side, and you've got your question bank, which is in the form of a piston feed tape on this side. So first off, what I'm going to do is, should have had this ready already, but yeah. So how it works is essentially got an AND gate with these two torches, and whenever both torches turn off, which would be cauldron over here, turns this one off, and we receive that button input. You get a pulse on this redstone line, just subtracts one from the pulse length of here, and moves one down. For example, so if it now we didn't do it that time because it was on the reset, which means that light is on. But if I were to do it now, you can see that one worked. Now, if I was going to get one wrong, this is a perfect example because I don't actually have any preloaded values, it would not add to the counter. And the trick with this one here is this sending on two pulses. One's when the goes to signal strength 14, which you can see here, that's the signal strength there. When that falls to 14, it sends a pulse which brings the target block up like this, and it sends another one when it goes back up to 15 and brings that back down. This is your score counter, which essentially subtracts one signal strength, which means one redstone dust turns off each time, and that is your reset. Now this could easily be built in just by going through the creative world, as I do have it very clearly laid out in certain stages. Each color wool is a different step, but to make it easier for you guys, I'm also going to build it myself. So we're going to start off with an area over here which I've prepared earlier, and with some blue wool, and I'm just going to go in order as it is down over there, at least as much as I can remember that order. So we need wool, buttons, well, it doesn't have to be wool, just any building block. I normally recommend to go for something that is not something you would be building with, or natural environment. So stone bricks generally what I use personally. Yeah, so we need some redstone, some comparators, and a torch. So step one is lay out your buttons. So this one here uses 5 buttons, so 5 answers, so A, B, C, D, E. And you want to go 2 out like this, and 2 again, and place torches here, and here, and redstone there. So that creates your AND gate, and just below here, we go for our comparators. And then after this one here, we want to use our brown circuit, which is the end of game detection. So for that we need wool, we need comparator, redstone lamp. Place the comparator there, wool, also we need a torch. And dust, torch, comparator, block there like that. Now this you could move around quite easily, but I've just put it there just for ease of building, and I needed something here anyway. The next circuit is actually the yellow circuit, which is your piston feed tape. So this is the longest circuit, and it's going to require the most work. So in yellow wool, sticky piston, regular piston, redstone torch, redstone dust, repeater, target block. We need some slabs as well. You also need glass or any sort of transparent block. I use glass personally. Cauldrons technically don't. You can just use straight cauldrons and water bottles. Now, best way to build this is to start from here, work your way down. Saves you from having unnecessary activations. So you line a redstone underneath the buttons, a torch in the end, with 2 redstone dust, sticky piston, and I forgot to grab the regular pistons. Block, repeater, block, 2 repeaters, block, like a hole like that, and this repeater here is on 2 ticks of redstone delay. And we want to go all the way across, so we line up with this comparator, dust along there, and the same here, all the way across, line up with that comparator, dust along there, target blocks, pistons facing up and pistons facing sideways. Now, this is the best time to place your glass in. You want to start at the bottom off with this shape, so the glass in front of the sideways facing piston and air in front of the upwards facing. And you want to go up 8 blocks, so now once you've done that, place your redstone dust here and slab all the way up, and redstone dust all along there. We need a block on top, which that you'll see what that does in a minute. Essentially, it's making a one-way, while it's blocking off redstone dust from going up, because we're going to have a slab up there. 2 repeaters here, both on 1 tick of delay, and 2 dust like this, and a line just along here with pistons facing this way. Actually we've stuffed this up, so we've got to go down 1. Except for that block is fine. Pistons along here. Repeater on 2 ticks of delay. Into a block. Slabs. Redstone dust. And then your downwards facing pistons. And you should be able to test this now. And you should maintain that glass pattern, which means we didn't. Which means we made an error somewhere. and I've already found it. There. And we can fix it by doing that. And yeah, so you just need a target block on top of the pistons. And you should maintain that shape. There you are. So now the next step is, oh, before we move on, once you've tested it, the cauldron and the water, place it in for now, and this lamp should light up. Now, the next one is the purple line, which is your score display. So we need building block, redstone torch, redstone dust comparator, and that's all we need for now. Build this out 4, 3, dust, comparator, subtraction mode, which you can see subtraction mode here, where if I hover my mouse there, you can see that's subtract, and that's compare, that's subtract. There we are. Block, another comparator, and bring this 15 blocks down. And I do like to power this, and just to make sure, extend it, and yep, we are good. Now, another thing we need is some redstone lamps, 15 of them to be exact, and just go straight across. And that should be centered on the center button, which is what we want for our sanity. The next line is the blue line, I believe. So we need some blue wool, repeater. Oh, sorry, we do need a repeater, but sticky piston, repeater, redstone, and torch. And we also need some slabs. And what you want to do is underneath this redstone torch, redstone, piston, block, repeater on 2 ticks, dust, slab, build it up, and 2 torches, just like that. And that builds your reset line, so every time this cauldron moves away, this will fire, it's called a falling edge multi-style circuit, and this will reset the signal strength to 15. And the next line is your green line, so we need some lime wool, just any building block. For this one here, we need some observers, some redstone, dust, repeater, target block, and we also need some torches. So place an observer above each AND gate, redstone dust all the way across. Two out further, we also need a sticky piston, target block, repeater on 2 ticks, redstone torch, block, redstone, block, and torch, and that is it for your green line. And now we need to do a pink line, which is what actually subtracts the score. So we need building block, comparator, and redstone dust. It's a very simple circuit. So I'm just need a block formation like this. And again on subtraction mode, you can see that just here again. block, redstone, and comparator. Essentially how this circuit works is it takes the signal strength of this block here and then it subtracts it by that -1, which will always give you a signal strength of 1. It doesn't need to be signal strength of 15 that you're putting in. It can be signal strength of 9, 8, anything really above 2. Even, well, you can, I reckon actually no, any signal strength will work because you put a signal strength of 1, it won't subtract anything and it'll still give 1. So that works for any signal strength. But you would need to either use a redstone torch or comparator or repeater to input that signal strength, and I find this is the easiest way to do it, despite not being the most lag friendly as it would be just to use a signal strength of 2 or 1. Regardless, that is the entire build. The only thing I need to show now is how to load the questions in. And the easiest ways to do that is to grab, you need to get a bunch of cauldrons, a bunch of water bottles, and a button. And just punch out one of those torches. And if it's on this line, don't put any questions here because I won't register the answers. And just put it in. So if I wanted to wanted it to be this option here, which would be B, put a cauldron there, water bottle, turn it. And now if I wanted to put E, it's on the last one. It is important that you only have one filled cauldron on this side here, else you're going to mess up with the scorekeeping. A, C, D. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of this, and it should be done by the time you're ready for it. Okay, now that is done, and that is all. As you can see, the only thing you gotta remember to break that, place the torch back in there. As you can see, I've filled up a lot of it, but it doesn't matter. As soon as you press one of these buttons, that score's gonna go away. And it's got a B, an E, I think it's an A, and a C, and a D. So that's counted all 5 of those. Now the answer is E. Now I'm going to put A in. It's not going to count that one because I didn't put the right button in, but it's going to turn anyway. So that is all. Just make sure the person cannot see the piston feed tape or the redstone torches, and there will be no indication for them to try and guess the torches, which has been a problem with my previous designs, versions 1 through 3. This is version 5, which I have found to be very neat and also to be my favourite because of how clean it is and how easily tileable. Now, it could easily subtract questions, so if you wanted to only have 10 questions, you would have the piston feed tape be a little shorter, and your comparator to be, you would not be giving a signal strength of 15, so if you wanted 10 questions, you would give it a signal strength of 10. and you'll use a similar circuit to this, but instead of you'll do something like so. You'd bring your blue line out here instead of going into there. So 15. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that will give you signal strength of 11. No, we want signal strength of 5, so probably the best way to do this actually is to use comparator. No block. No, not don't block. We want a jukebox. And record. There are pleeps of ways to do this. This is just the way I do it. 4, 5. If I were right. Yep, that gives you a thing of 5 because that one there gives you a redstone of 5, and that subtracts that from 15, which gives you 1 of 10. And you would not have those ones there. You would stop it over here and just have that be your score display. But last we're not doing that. That was just an example. And yeah, you'll just make your piston feed tape instead of being 10 blocks long, and well, technically 11 blocks long instead of 16. But if you're not too confident with that, just stick with the 15 question one and you cannot go wrong with this tutorial. Anyway guys, I hope that wasn't too complicated of an explanation. If you get stuck, we'll download which should hopefully be in description, and enjoy building your quiz machine. Hope you guys learned something. It's not just putting it together, but that I taught you maybe 1 or 2 things about the redstone and how it worked, which that is always my goal and will always be my goal when it comes to showing off my redstone contraptions. Not so much that they get used in other people's stuff, but more so that people gain knowledge in their redstone way. So hopefully this was helpful and you guys enjoy your new quiz machines or newfound knowledge in any respect. Thanks guys, bye bye.